Hi, I'm Paul Harland, a solutions engineer here at Snyk. We're here to talk about governance at scale, but what does that mean? Well, we've seen large organisations have complex requirements about how they manage and prioritise security and licence issues within their software. With Snyk Pro and Enterprise plans this year, we launched security and licence policies. We're going to cover how to create and use licence policies through the Snyk UI, and how developers can gain an understanding of their license and security policy compliance throughout the software development lifecycle. Let's head over to the UI now. In the Snyk UI, you can see when we go to policies, by standard, there's a default license policy and a default security policy. Let's talk about security policies first and have a look at that default policy. As you can see, it's been applied to all organisations within my group. And over on the right hand side, I can add extra rules to that policy to change that from its default behaviour if I wish. Here you can see I can select either exploit maturity or CWE. I can then go and select it includes and add a CWE number to that and then change the default behaviour. If I go over to a project now, and let's find a useful or interesting vulnerability that we can change its severity. So I can look at my projects here. I'm going to go into the Goof project and look at the package.json scan that we've done. Here you can see this is our standard report page where we have some metadata about this project along with its tags or project attributes and a full list of vulnerabilities that we've found, organised by the Snyk priority score. Here what we want to do perhaps is remove the high severity and look at some medium or low severity that we want to change. So here we've got a problem with braces, which is regular expression denial of service. So this looks like an interesting candidate. Let's look for more details about this issue, and we can go through to the full details about that vulnerability. Here on the right hand side is a number of CWEs or common weaknesses that are attached to this vulnerability. Let's take a look at those. So CWE 185 is incorrect regular expression. CWE 400 is uncontrolled resource consumption. So assuming we wanted to flag or make the severity of anything with uncontrolled resource consumptions go high, what we'd do is we'd go back to that policy. We'd add that 400 number in here. We'd then say, let's change the severity to high. We'd then go and change that policy or set that policy. And the next time that project is scanned, if we go to the top, the new policy will be applied to that report. Let's retest that now. Now this project has been successfully retested. Let's go and have a look at the results. If I search for the same issue, you can see now it's been given a high severity rating. This is because of that rule we've just created. But we're also given a note to let the security professional or developer know that this change is because of a rule that's been applied. So here we've changed the default behaviour of the Snyk default policy. We can also go in and create a new policy and apply that either to a single or group of organisations, or apply that based on project attributes that are given during the creation of that policy. For now, I'm going to use the organisation and select just web app. I'll then give that a name and add a rule. I'm actually going to override the rule we just created in the default policy to show you how that works. So I'll get the 400 CWE again. And I'll change the severity this time to low. I'll go ahead and create that policy, and then I'll go up and rescan or retest this project. Okay, this package was successfully retested again. So if we scroll down and search for that same issue, we can see now that this is back to low severity. Notice how it doesn't tell us that a rule has been applied. This is because the rule did not change its default severity. However, if we scroll further down, we can see that there is another item that rule has affected. Here it's been changed from high to low, high indicated by the red triangle in the corner. And if we go into that more details, I suspect we'll find that this is also a CWE 400. And there we see this is a CWE 400, so has had our rule applied. But these security policies are not just available to change the results within the UI. A developer doing the scans on their local machine can also see when a policy or a policy rule affects the severity of a vulnerability. Here I'm just going to do the test on my local machine for that same project. And you can see here that we've got that same issue, and it's a low severity, but it was originally medium, and it's been changed because of that rule. So you're gaining the visibility of the changes to these severities throughout that software development lifecycle. So far what we've done is make changes to the default security policy, and then added a new security policy and applied that to one organization. Now, if there was one project in that organization for which we wanted to apply a different policy, we could also do that. Let's take a look at this Java Goof project here. It's a front-end web app. And what we can do, we can go and give that some project tags. Let's create a production lifecycle, environment front-end and external, and business criticality critical. Now let's have a look for some issues that we think would cause problems to a front-end web app. Everything that's high is high already, so let's have a look through the mediums. And here we can see a number of cross-site scripting issues. We want those to be highly rated. So let's go on and read more about this issue. And we'll pick the one below as well. So if you look at the common weaknesses there, we've got 79, and this one we've got 79 as well. So that's an ideal target to add a new rule. We can then head over to policies and add a new policy, this time based off project attributes. Now we selected critical, we selected front end, external, and we selected production. We can now go and add that rule for CWE includes 79, then change the severity to high. And we'll submit that. Oh, I need a name. Now when we rescan that project, now because of the project attributes that match exactly, we'll have that new policy applied. So let's go and do that now. So with this project successfully retested, I can then go back down to my issues and we'll search for that cross-site scripting issue, and we can see here this has now changed from medium to high severity, and again we're given that note that that's based off a security policy rule. So here you can see that we've got one project within that organization based off its project attributes that we can apply a different security policy to. So now that we've covered security policies, let's have a look at license policies. Again, we start with a Snyk default license policy whereby we have rated anything copyleft license, which you cannot use in a commercial project, as high severity. Anything medium, which may have some clauses that will inhibit being used in a commercial project. And anything from the permissive realm will be given as a none or no severity. Here I've changed one item, the AGPL license, to low, but I can very easily add that back up to high. I've added a developer notification to please speak to legal before using. And then once doing those changes, I can submit that. Again, the same as security policies, I can go and create a new policy based off organizations that I select or projects that match with certain attributes. We do have another video that covers license policies in much more detail. So please head over and see that. Okay, so today we've covered security and license policies. How to create and use those either applied to a group of organizations, a single organization, or a group of projects based on matched project attributes.